A chain of 36 coral islands, Lakshadweep lies some 300 kilometers off the coast of India. Most are so small you can walk around them in less than an hour. Many of the islands are uninhabited. With their coral reefs and turquoise lagoons, their white sands and palm-fringed beaches, they look like classic treasure islands.
But if you did bury treasure here and tried to find it some years later, it would be nearly impossible. And you can see what is happening. The waves are washing the sand on this part of the island. Even the coconut palms are toppling over. The ground is being washed away from their roots. But on the other part of the island, the sand is being piled up. So the whole island is gradually moving along by over 1 meter a year.
These are wandering islands. Some have moved so far that ships wrecked on one side have been buried and emerged years later on the other side.
But there is treasure here. It's not gold and silver, but living jewels. And it's not on these islands, but in these sparkling waters.
The coral reefs around the islands are a treasure chest of vivid color. The corals that build these reefs are living organisms. Like many of the creatures they shelter, they rely on the currents to bring them their food. The bright colors of coral reef fish have a purpose. These powder blue surgeonfish graze on algae and they're highly territorial. Each pair has its own patch. Their body is a banner that signals "keep out." This parrotfish hasn't got the message. On its own, it makes little impact on the surgeonfish's algal garden. But there's another grazer that can wreak havoc. A gang of convict tangs invade the powder blue's territory. Powder blues dash back and forth in an effort to drive them off, but the prison-striped marauders overwhelm them by sheer weight of numbers. Within seconds, the tangs strip the algae from the powder blue's territory. Like a plague of locusts, they move on to devastate someone else's garden. Where there are grazers, you find hunters.